all this time, I don't think it recorded. Oh no, I've made 3 cards. Okay, let's back up. Hello, stamping friends. Welcome to this week's video here at Magnolia's Place. I'm Carol Parsons, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in South Carolina. Each week, usually on Monday, I post a video on my YouTube channel. Right now I'm finishing up with my breast cancer treatment. I'm on radiation, so I'm a little off schedule. But I have been popping in at least once a week. I'm just not getting it all on Mondays. My surgery went well, caught it early. Everybody get your mammograms. Great, great tool. And let's see. Okay, so since Christmas is just around the corner, and I'm a crafter, we've got to find great ideas for giving gifts, right? So this is what's going on. Let me move this out of the way. And here's my Magnolia's Place. Here's my blog. And this is what started off my journey. This is called a stationery tote. And I followed the tutorial done by May Made It. Are you familiar with her? I'm going to put a link in the description box to her video. She did a great job on this. So this holds some skinny cards that are, I don't know, roughly 3 by 6, and some traditional size cards on that side. And then again on the other side, we have the same 2 sizes. There are 2 pockets on each end. And in this pocket, I've got bookmarks. I made 2. I will probably put more in there. I think in this side, I'm going to put postage. But I might put more bookmarks there and put postage in here. Anyway, I have 2 on this side. This one's full. I've got 2 little booklets for Post-it notes. And everything coordinates with papers and products. I'll show you those in just a minute. And then on the pocket here, right now I have sentiments. So I could put postage in here too and put more bookmarks here. Or I could make gift tags to put there. That's my thought. So these are sentiments that I stamped and die cut using Unbounded Love. This is a current stamp set. I used these greetings and cut them apart. Most of them were cut with these dies, except a minute ago I had the die for this one for a card cut out, and it's here somewhere, but I lost it. Ever had that happen? Okay. So I used that for 95% of the greetings. On one card, maybe 2, I'm making sympathy cards. So I used this from a retired set. I love this sentiment. Oops, can you see it? There we go. And I used this stamp set because I like this one. And then I used this on one card. These 3 are all retired. So I'm showing you these to remind you to use what you got. You don't have to rush out and buy all new everything someone else has on a project they made. I love this one. It's French. It's a French script. I'm a pushover for script stamps and paper elements. And if it's in French, it's even better. 4 years of high school French, I have to use it, right? All right, so I cut all of these out. I used one of our clear envelopes, folded it in half so it would fit down in here. And you can see that I stamped them all in early espresso because all of these colors I'm using are coordinating together, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. And the paper clips are because some of those greetings and sentiments are these. And they kind of are 2-part. Hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow, so I stamped them and cut them separately. But I paper clipped them with some Italian paper clips because they're pretty. And the person who's going to get this as a gift can use those on these small cards, because when I make these, they're not going to have any sentiments and greetings on them. So they can kind of customize them if they like. Peace makes the world a better place. Love never gives up, and faith is being sure of what we cannot see. So those all have paper clips, so they'll know they can use those together if they like. Okay, so that explains what's going on there. I cut the flowers out of some of the paper. So I used 2 sets of Designer Series paper. This is called Woven Textures, and it's an online exclusive. You can see I've got some on the handles. I just love that basket feel. And I thought it was kind of generic in that it would go with anything I chose. Well, I chose to use this mega suite in our catalog, which is called Gallery Blooms. Now, this is a bundle, and this is a bundle. I have, oh, I'm sorry, I knocked you. I have this one. I have just the dies. I did not order the stamp set, but now I'm kind of wishing I did. I keep thinking, but I've got plenty of word stamps, but I love that stamp. So, you know, and then okay, on my Christmas list, well, I apologize for banging you around. I want a new camera stand. I want one that does not have these here. I want a side mount. So maybe I won't keep doing that. Now, so there's my little, that's my Christmas list for the boys. I'm using this paper right here. And this is called, Gallery Blooms. Yeah, nope, wait a minute. Beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. Aren't those gorgeous? I love these. And I'm using this embossing folder, which is the Damask Designs. And this is a beautiful motif, I think. I'm reading on here as fast as I can. Yes, beautiful, no. Okay, Carol, number 7. Here we go. Nope, that didn't say 7. Oh, 6. Here we go, pressed flower motifs. These are so pretty. And beige ribbon. All right, so that's what I've used out of here. Now, I told you I'd put a link to the video where May teaches you how to make this. And look what's in the center. This is upside down. I'm going to put something here for a title. I don't know what, it needs something. I want to say something. Maybe just an encouraging stamp sentiment, but something's going to go there. That's why that's off. I just haven't decided yet. And it fastens like this with magnets. I used, this paper is that woven textured stamp set. This is Pecan Pie, Mossy Meadow. This comes from the Gallery Blooms, whatever I just showed you. And so does this. They all coordinate colors. I used all the colors that are in the stamp set, or the paper, I mean. Well, no, not all the colors. A lot of all the colors I used come from these Designer Series paper patterns. And here's all the dies. Can you see that one? Oops. I can't do that without knocking it. I hate this camera stand. But my son got it for me, so I hate to say I hate it. I'll just whisper it. Okay. So a nice little tablet in there. So along with, oh, and this is the back. You know, you got to decorate the back. So along with the Post-it notes, you've got a whole stationery kit in here. Isn't that cool? I just love this. They've got magnets on the flaps, basic gray magnets. You can get them from Amazon. All right. Now, so my thought was to tell you about May's great video and to show you some cards. And I made all 3 of these and the camera was not on play. I thought I pushed play, but I was trying to show you the dog and how she hangs out under my computer table. And then when I attached it to the camera mount, I think it came undone. So these are the cards I made off camera. This is paper from the designer series paper I just showed you, which is Beautiful Gallery. And I used basic gray here and white. And this flower came from the the Gallery Blooms stamp set. I stamped it in black and colored it with Poppy Parade, and I'm pretty sure that was Flirty Flamingo and Calypso Coral. I think that's what I used. And I know the green was Old Olive, Stampin' Blends. And this is from the stamp set I showed you, Unbounded Love. And these dies I used to cut apart the greeting. And then, of course, these were these beautiful little flower motif embellishments. It's still driving me nuts that I lost that brown flower die thing. It's somewhere here. Anyways, okay, and then on the inside, I stamped these with those retired stamp sets that I showed you, and I used the gray granite ink there as well, so it coordinates with the paper. I love how all the colors in Stampin' Up coordinates. It just gives such a pretty look. And then on this one, I used basic gray. And remember, I'm trying to keep these flat, so I didn't pop anything up with dimensionals, which is what I usually do because it looks so gorgeous. But I want to try to fit as many cards as I can in here. My stationery tote is going to be my gift to our Bible study. Every year at Christmas, we do a Chinese auction. And I'm making this for the Chinese auction. And it's going to be going to one of my friends. And none of them are crafters. So that's why I've done some things the way I've done them, like with the greetings. And I want to fit as many of these cards in there as I can. So this is basic gray. The first layer I did was 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed it with the embossing folder that coordinates with the bundles in this suite, Damask Designs. And I stamped the flower in Early Espresso ink because that's the same color that's in the designer series paper. I used Early Espresso on the greeting. And then I cut out this from gold because I wanted some contrast between just the two colors, you know, something to kind of visually pop out. And that came from the beautiful motif dies right here. So there's that one. And then on the inside, here's the sentiment, but there's a little brown die that's going to go behind this. It's Early Espresso, matches the ink, and it's somewhere lost around here. I'll find it as soon as I turn off the camera. Okay, and the third camera I made before I turned it on is another flower from Gallery Blooms. So look at the different looks you can get with those. That is such a great stamp set. Look at these, all from the same stamp set. I colored these with Stampin' Blends, and I think I used Bubble Bath and doesn't look like Fresh Freesia. I bet it's Pretty in Pink. And I know the green was Old Olive, and the leaves are Old Olive. The leaves came from, let me grab it here. Yes. The leaves came from the dies that coordinate with the Gallery Bloom stamp set. So these are all the dies. You get a double whammy of dies, and this is the little leaf that I used there. Okay. So I colored those, I die cut them, I put that leaf behind. I heat embossed the sentiment with gold, and then I put gold foil behind it and then overlapped. Now remember, usually I would pop these up on pop dots, so dimensionals, so if you want to make it just as a card by itself, that would be lovely, but I'm trying to keep these flat so I can fit more in there. And then here's the inside. All right, so those are the 3 I made off camera. So let's make one on camera, and I'm going to triple check to make sure the camera is operating. Yes, it's been running 15 minutes. Okay, so this is basic beige again, and I'm using that same patterned paper. This is a scrap piece. This is a great way to use your scraps. And I stamped off, this is my 2nd generation stamp of Early Espresso. So that's the inside. I don't have a sentiment there yet. What was this going to be? This is a sympathy card. So we will have to put something. Let's use the same one. Oh no, you know what? There's a good sympathy one in here. Let's use a different one. There's My Heart Goes Out to You with sympathy, and then on the inside put My Heart Goes Out to You. That will be pretty. Now, I know you're wondering about my package. If you haven't seen one of my videos, Stampin' Up! Is repackaging or changing their packaging, removing from the cases that they usually came in to the envelopes, the same style of envelopes that our dies came in. This will be packaged, everything, dies and stamps, which I love. It saves so much space. I did a whole video on how I redid mine, and that's why you see these envelopes. I got a little stir crazy after breast cancer surgery. I didn't want to wait until we had those envelopes available to buy, so I bought some other brand and redid all of my stamps while I was sitting around recuperating. So that's why you see these funny little packages. But I do always put my dies on magnetic sheets. I've always done that, and then I store them in my envelopes. So let's we're using Early Espresso because we're using this paper, and that's the color in there. So we've got to coordinate our colors. It makes everything look so much more professional and beautiful. Okay. Oh, nope, it's a good thing I double checked that. That doesn't say. That says, that's a birthday sentiment. I don't want to put that in there. I want, where did it go? Oh, here it is. My heart goes out to you. I grabbed May All Your Wishes Come True. That's not appropriate to put on a sympathy card. Woohoo! Good thing I caught that. Okay, now let's get this straight. Okay. Now see the difference? This is full strength Early Espresso, and this has been stamped off once because I wanted that kind of faded look. All right. So there that is. Inside's all done. Now we'll do the outside. And let's see if I remember what I was doing. Yes, okay, so I cut the first layer, I'm pretty sure. Yep, this is 4 by, no, it's 4 1/8. I wanted a little bit smaller border. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So you're gonna have a little bit smaller border. So let's put that on. Okay. Oh, my husband's in the kitchen cooking chicken soup. I wish you could smell it. All right, and isn't that paper pretty? This is the back. Early Espressos. We've got paper, ink, and designer paper that all matches. This is not from that paper. This wood comes from the Country Woods Designer Series paper, and I think I saw this. I think I saw this on the clearance rack. I might be mistaken, but take a look. There's some cool things on there. So that's where this paper came from. So let's put this layer on next. Okay. And I wanted this to be a thin border too. So instead of 1/4 of an inch smaller, it's 1/8 of an inch smaller than the previous layer. Now, these I did put on pop dots, just the one. And I'll show you why. I had in my head to do this. Okay. Or did I want to do it like that? No, I think I like it like that. And then put this on top. That was my thought. Well, maybe I do want to put it over. What do you think? Huh. I'm thinking. Can you hear the smoke? See the smoke? No, maybe I like it better that way. Okay, so I want to tell you about these dies. Here they are. This is with the Gallery Blooms bundle. And this is one die, but it cuts out 3 pieces. It cuts out that one, and then this centerpiece. So I'm going to save this and use it on something else. Okay. And I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to attach it. Okay. I think it looks better in the middle. Didn't I just say I wasn't going to overthink that? Uh-oh, I ripped. It's all right. Glue will cover it up. Okay, now. You might see my head pop in here, but I got to try to get this even. I think that's it. Yep. No, I'm a little crooked. I might have to stand up. So I laid that down very gently. I don't know if you could tell, but that way, if I peel it up quickly and I've just laid it down gently, I can get it back up to reposition it. Because Stampin' Steel is some pretty strong stuff. Once you get it down and it's adhered well, you ain't getting it back up. There we go. And then this one is popped up, so I put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Yes, that's how I like it. Okay, let's take these off. It's handy dandy take your pick tool. Do you know these things come with a bazillion different tips you can add? Just pull these out and change them around, which I think is awesome. Oops, there's my sentiment. All right, so let's put that right here. So it just gives a little bit of interest, a little bit of dimension to the center. And then I cut this out of copper. I could have done gold too, would be just as nice. And I already glued it on the back. And this is Early Espresso ink, of course, that same flower. And I'm going to put that. Do I want to put it off? Oh, yeah. Let's do it off a little. That looks kind of cool. And then put this down here. About like that. Yes. Oh, but then I don't like that hanging down. I'll cut that off. Okay. Let's cut these off. Okay. Now, so let's glue. Oh, and there's going to be some places where I'll have to put dimensionals on the low spots. I love Tombow glue. I love this. I can't remember if I told you on this one or the first two cards I made when I hadn't pressed play, but I love Tombow glue. You know what? I don't think I'm going to need dimensionals on the low parts. This will hold it. The glue that is in our fine tip bottle is a shiny glue, and it dries shiny, and I don't like that. So I use our mono adhesive, the green glue, and I just fill up this empty container because I like this this fine tip glue thing, applicator. There we go. Had a little bit of glue oozing out there. And then this will go right here. What do you think? Or so we could do that. Oh, I think I like that. Let's do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that better. Okay. What do you think? That turned out really pretty. Should I put some of these on there? I think so. Okay. Let's put one there. Put a big one here in the low places. And another small one up over there. Oh, no. Wait, can I get that back up? Yep. No, that looks silly. Oh, right there. There. Okay. Now, so now there are 3 done. I don't know where I put the other ones. Oh, they're there. All right. Got time. Let's do some of the skinny ones. Now, remember I told you the skinny ones, I wanted to make them less ornate. I want them to be very simple, clean and simple, and the sentiments I already did. All the papers coordinate, so the sentiments can be put on these if they like. And sizes, that's what I was going to do. Measure this. I think this is, 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's the card size. The envelopes that I'll put a link to in the description box came from Amazon. And they measure 6 1/2 by 3 5/8. So this is just a little smaller, perfect size to fit in there. So that's what I'm doing there. And this card has a little bit different color values, but it's still, all the colors coordinate in that designer series paper. This is Secret C. And I'll show you again. So we're using this one. Secret C is one of the colors that coordinate with that. And this paper, and again, this is a scrap piece. I just found one that looked like what I wanted, and there we go. And this is white, so I used white here, and that's going to be our first layer. This is Smoky Slate. Yep, this is Smoky Slate, and I stamped it with Secret C, and I used that retired set that I showed you with the French script on it, because I just thought that was so elegant behind here. So here's my plan. I want to put course, since this is so large, you can probably tell this is my first layer. So put that right here, and that's 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card base. This is 3 by 6. And then this is 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So this would be 2 7/8 by 5 7/8, I think. Yep, 5 7/8 by 2. Oh, how about that? Yeah, this is the side I messed up. This is the good side. Yeah, okay. Nice that paper has 2 sides, huh? All right. And you might notice that the center is a little bit lighter. If I was going to use this by itself, I would have had to redo it because I don't like that didn't come out. But it's going to be covered up with this anyway, so it doesn't matter. Pretty cool. This is just a nice, simple little design. Using up scrap paper, yay. And this piece of Secret Sea is 1/8 of an inch smaller than my scrap piece, and it's on there crooked again. So I usually do this when I'm standing up, and if I stand up, I always shake the camera. So let's try it again. Okay, now it's good. Now I can press it down. Now, do we want it right in the center, or do we want it over to the side? I think I like this one in the center better. Okay. There. Okay, right in the center towards the top-ish. That's it. And, no, I'm not going to put any of those. Just leave it. They can put their sentiment on there if they like. It's a little crooked again. Scooch it over. Make sure it's right. Now I'll hit it with this. Once you do this, you're not getting it back up. There. Nice, simple. I haven't done the inside yet, but that's for the 3 by 6. And then, gosh, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 5 more. Wow. Okay, let's do this one. This is pretty similar to one we've already done. And that's like uber simple. Let's do this. Okay, because this is kind of a fun idea. All right, this is crumb cake. Very vanilla. Okay, so this is on our inside. And remember, I'm not putting sentiments and greetings on these because these are just simple little cards. And they can add them with that package of sentiments that I put. So here's this, and it's going to go in this orientation. I used the dies that coordinate with the paper. What's the stamp set called? Texture something texture. Baskets of texture. No. Hang on, I'll go look. I can't remember. It is Textured Notes. This stamp set, and the dies that go with it are these. Okay. So I used those dies to cut out this. Now I'm not going to use this one. I'm just using this piece. I want to frame. And I cut out this. See, this is the, isn't it that size? Yeah. Okay, but that came out of here because I wanted a bigger one and a smaller one so I'd get a frame. So first, let's put this down and I'll show you what I have in mind. I love how you can use those frame dies in so many ways. Okay, let's open this back up so that I can get it centered. Oh, hello, Fluffy Puppy. She just changed her positions again. Now she's over here under the desk. Hello, Fluffy. Okay, now, so here's my idea. Put that in the center, right? So it lines back up in the picture. And then put this right here to kind of give a little frame. And I've got two of these. I just dropped one. Okay, there we go. And these were cut out of Basic Beige. And they came from the dies that coordinate with Gallery Bloom's stamp set. And the only thing that I've used paper-wise that's not current is this. I wanted this color. This is so much like gold. We just retired it this year. It's one of the in colors. And right at the moment, the name is escaping me. Wild Wheat, that's it. So I had some of that left. Remember what we talked about. Use what you've got. There. Okay. And where did I put? Boy, I'm having a really hard time with the where did I put it today. Where'd my... Huh. My silicone mat went away. Oh, here it is. Now if I could just find that piece I wanted on the other card, that'd be great. Okay. So I think if I go slow, I can get Stampin' Seal on here and not have to use glue. Because glue and I are not necessarily best friends. I mean, I love our mono glue if I have to use glue, but I'd rather use Stampin' Seal. All right, I'm going to try to keep this straight, so you may see my head. Please excuse that. All right, now, can you see the little pattern in the Designer Series paper? Isn't that pretty? I love that. And then these, I was thinking, I don't know, something like that. Maybe. Let's put that there. Okay, so that does have to be glue. Okay. All right. You don't have to glue everywhere. I just put dots in a few places and it'll hold it. It's my reversible tweezers, which are another amazing tool. Amazon. Several brands. I've had several that, I mean, I have several that they all work. This one happens to be SK Tools. I think I've got an EK Success one somewhere. They're good. Okay. Now, skinny card done. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Simple. Clean and simple. So we've got two of those. Let's do one more. And then I'll show you the pieces for the other ones. The glue. Okay. So here's my thought on this one. This is Basic Gray, Secret C again, because this pattern of paper has Secret C in it. So I'm thinking I'll dry fit it so you can see. I was thinking that, and then I don't have a clear idea of what I wanted to do with that. Ooh, yeah, I do. Right there. What do you think? I think that'll be good. All right, I colored this. This is the same flower we used before with What did I use? Light blues. I used Pool Party and Balmy Blue or Cloud Cover. And then yellow, probably Crushed Curry, I think. And the green was Old Olive. That's one of the nice things about Stampin' Blends. It's really easy to use. They come in two colors, dark and black. I mean, dark and light. So it's not nearly as complicated as using Copic markers. When I bought those, I had a huge collection of Copic markers. And I took classes, and you can't just pick up any color of marker and have them blend real well together. They blend better if you use like a 23 and a 25, you know, one number off, but the front letters should be the same, which, yeah, I know, gets kind of complicated. And then people post all these charts with all the color combinations that go well and blend well together, and yeah. But by the time Stampin' Up came along and had Stampin' Blends, I already had over 100 Copic markers, so I do still use them. But the Stampin' Blends are so much easier to use. In the middle or up at the top? I think up here. What do you think? Like that. That's good. Okay, let's give that a press. All right, now this is what I've completed today. These 3 skinny ones. Can you let me stand up so I can see it? I've got them all in camera. Yeah. Okay, these 3 skinny ones. And these 4, move that, larger, regular size cards. Now, can we see those? Nope. Okay, then I'll show them to you 2 by 2. Those 2. And these 2. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. The only other ones I have ready are these, and I'll just show you what I had in mind. This, I was just going to put that paper. It's gorgeous. Nothing else. And they've got the little sentiments that they can glue on there. This one is green paper. Mossy Meadow. And that, and I can't remember what I was going to do with that. Oh, no. Yeah, I was thinking about putting it maybe here, and they could put the sentiment over. I'm not sure. But that's one. Because, you know, you have to have some masculine things. And then this one is basic beige paper. And this layer, I used that same embossing folder. Same flower from Gallery Blooms in Secret Sea. And then my thought was to use these from the die set. I don't know. I was thinking to kind of just put these under different places. I'm not sure what about this one. Yeah, like that. Something like that. That was in my head. But I cut out 4 just in case I wanted more. Okay, so that's my plan for this week. I hope it was helpful and fun. And let's see. I'll place a link into my blog in the description box where you can see a product list and a link to May's stationery tote tutorial. If you need if you need a demonstrator, I'd love to do that for you. I appreciate your business and I look forward to helping you create. Please like and subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell. This helps me because the more likes and subscribes my channel receives, the more search engines will notice me, which in turn helps my channel grow. And for you, it helps you because you receive notifications when I post a new video. So thanks for stopping by this week, and I will see you soon. Bye.